And we're rolling, baby.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with MusicsMyLife.com here at the Crofoot in Pontiac, Michigan with a very special guest.
Fred Durst.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Madsa, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, thank you so much for having me. This is, like I told you previously, going to be the greatest interview that's ever happened.
Let's hope so. Knock on wood.
Let's go. No, forget it, man. I promise. I promise.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, very pleasure for real.
Now, your name was originally Derek before sort of unofficially changing it to Dylan.
Unofficially, yeah.
And wasn't that because you were kind of getting sick of hearing ick all the time? Yes, that's so funny. I don't think I said it in a real interview yet before, but yeah, that's true, man. I was hearing ick my whole life, Derek, except like people in Louisiana. There's this chick from Louisiana that would say like Derek. They'd be like that. I was like, all right, but that was the only way, man. So I wanted to unofficially change it, and it's not legal yet. The funny thing is, like, when I did this shit with Rolling Stone magazine, they were like, in the editorial and stuff, the write-ups, they're like asking me my name and stuff, and I told them to completely, I told my name was Dylan. And so that's what they printed in the magazine. But they went back and they like contacted like my high school and stuff that I went to, and they're like, so we want to learn a little more about Dylan Smith, and we want to do some promotion within the school. And they're like, we don't have anybody under that name here. So it's hella funny, man. Yeah. So my mom, she don't call me Dylan or nothing, but everyone else. I mean, that's the power. See, that's another reason I did it, is because like I travel to a new city every single day. You know what I'm saying? If me and you left right now and traveled to some, random city in Germany right now, nobody knows our past. They know nothing about us. So we're brand new. We're reborn at that moment, okay? To the point where you can even give yourself a brand new name. People don't know nothing about you. So I just wanted to I was reborn, you know what I'm saying? So it symbolizes that too. I was a different person. You know? Right. Now, in terms of you choosing Dylan as the new name, how much, if any, of that was influenced by your love for Bob Dylan?
Yes, a lot. And like, okay, my mom's name is Deb. My dad's name is Dennis. My sister's name is Danielle. So all of them are D's. I was originally going to be named Dylan. That's what my mom wanted to name
no
me.
Kidding.
But my dad wanted, no. My dad wanted to name me Dylan. My mom wanted to, I don't know, whatever. My middle name is Ryan, and that symbolizes, that was named after Charles Lindbergh, the people that made his plane, the Spirit of St. Louis, was Ryan Aircrafts. So I was originally going to be named Dylan. And like, yo, I'm a Dylan. I'm Dylan anyway.
Yeah.
I'm way
you
more
look like
Dylan.
a Dylan.
Yeah, it's got a Y in it. That just like, that's wacky. You know what I'm saying? So
how about Fatty? Does that name ring a bell at all?
Yes.
You know a guy named Fatty?
Do you know a guy named Fatty?
I think you know a guy named Fatty.
That's so funny.
I don't know him, but
that's so fucking funny. I'm gonna send it. Can I swear?
Absolutely,
dude. I'm gonna send him this interview. He's gonna geek. Yeah, Fatty, man. Fatty's this dude from high school that actually like introduced me to The Secret. He introduced me to The Secret, which got me all started on like the law of attraction shit. Fatty was like a conspiracist. Like he was the dude that was like hacking into the internet like way young age, and like so I never really listened to a bunch of the shit that he bring to the table, but he brought The Secret to the table one day and I watched it. Shit changed me. Same with like Waking Life, like stuff like that. So yeah, that is funny.
and with that sort of changed your whole outlook on things, right?
Yes.
And you also kind of credit weed for bringing some good things to the table, right?
100%.
Weren't you kind of like sort of have admittedly a bad temper going up until, were you like 15 when you discovered it?
Yes. Which, hold on, check this out. Hold this one second.
Absolutely.
This interview is amazing, Pat. You're going to freak out. This, actually, I just got these copies and said this is my book.
I was going to say, because that's not out yet, right?
It comes out in like 3 days. I just got the first copies today. So this is it. This is my first book that's coming out. But yes, I talk about it in there. And I had like a really bad temper. Like my mom wouldn't let me play video games when I was younger because here, I want you to have that.
Oh, thank you, man.
You know what I'm saying? You're already know probably, man. Fucking have the shit in there. I wasn't even like able to play video games and stuff when I was younger because I would like lose and throw the control and break the TV and stuff. So yeah, weed, honestly, man, it was used like this is what I say. Weed isn't gonna just weed isn't used as like it's gonna take bad things and make them good. It's not used to be like that because that'll make you dependent on it and stuff like that.
Right.
It's an enhancer. Right?
Absolutely.
If I was gonna go to the grocery store, with my grandma right now, you know what I'm saying? I could smoke a blunt before, and I would like walk in that store and be like, yeah, the grocery store. You know what I'm saying? So, yep, weed, The Secret, all that.
Is Jack Herrera still your favorite strain?
Yeah, Jack Herrera.
Oh, Jack.
I've admittedly said it wrong before as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It switches. That's still my top 3. Like my favorites are like New York Sour Diesel, Of course, like OG Kush is up there, and then like Jack Harrett, yeah.
And your business card sort of doubles as a grinder, right?
It does. My business card it's essentially, they had a cheese grater, but they didn't have a weed grater.
Oh, okay.
So my business card was a like piece of metal this big with a little cheese grater on it that was used to break up nugs.
That's convenient.
Very convenient.
Now, speaking of mixing, business with weed, weren't you like passing joints to the Wu-Tang Clan at your first hip hop gig?
Yep. First show I ever played was someone that was like quote unquote like hip hop or rap, because I grew up playing rock music. My first tours were all with like rock bands and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Scary Kids, Scaring Kids, and Johnny Craig and stuff like that. And so the first time I actually opened up for someone hip hop was Wu-Tang Clan, and I was sitting on stage the whole time while they were playing. Just like I was the weed man that night.
Right.
They came to town, they didn't have no weed. That's how I made like almost all of my connections throughout music is being the weed man.
Hey, I mean, if it works, it works,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously known for bringing people together.
Yes.
Music, too, for
That's
that matter.
That's what it's about.
And,
share, man.
And your studio has kind of a history of that, too, right? Didn't it bring together your boy Metta and Absol after, like, 10 years of what was that all about?
Yo, oh my god. Yo, so my homie Metta, look him up, META. I'm gonna send this interview to him too. This is powerful.
You're sending it to everybody.
Yeah, Metasoda, man. His name is Metasoda on Twitter. And him and Absol, there used to be this thing on the internet called like a freestyle chat room or something like 10 years ago. And Metta like and Absol were friends over the internet, Absol being out in California, and like Metta, like Absol like looked up to Metta as like his like freestyle like mentor, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't meet each other for 10 years, and then randomly Absol was in Minneapolis, and those are kind of like, I'm friends with all those guys, so they came through the studio, and he mentioned Metta, or I mentioned Metta and something. He was like, what? He's like, are you serious?
Right.
I brought him through and it was there. Yeah, man, very cool. Yo, Metta is one very amazing rapper, lyricist, writer, so look him up for sure. Metasoda, man.
Shout out to Metta.
And Absol, of course. Solo.
Was Mims actually like the first person to rap into one of your studio mics?
Yep. The first person to rap. I got this mic. It was the blue Kiwi mic that I still have right now. The very first day that I got it, Mims was in town, and like he needed to record a track or something. And he came through to the studio I was at, and I was like, well, yo, I got this song. You want to get on this? I was like, I'll provide the shit. Like, and he was like, all right. So, yeah, he was the first person to rap in the mic I still have now.
That's crazy. And you mentioned, before all this, being in the bands growing up. How many was it? Was it 5?
It was, let's see, the first band I was in was called Almost There. The second band I was in was called Sideline Heroes. Third band I was in was called The Semester. Then Four Letter Lie, and then Scary Kids, Scaring Kids. Yeah.
And then you played drums in all of them?
Yeah, drums in all of them. Yeah.
But your first instrument, wasn't it actually a Fender Stratocaster guitar from your dad?
Yep.
Did you ever get much use out of that?
Yo, no, because this is why I chose drums, okay? Because no matter where you are in the audience or how you watch the video, you can see what the drummer's doing. You can be front row or last row, and you can see the drummer going like this. You can be next to the guitar player and not have an idea what he's doing.
Right.
So I couldn't follow. Like, drums were like, I could like watch like Travis Barker. That's what I was watching.
Yeah.
I would study everything he's doing. I could just see how he's moving his hands. So I was like, well, if he's sitting there moving his hands like this, I can do that.
Yeah, exactly. So. And before Travis directly influencing you, wasn't Zach Hanson an indirect influence?
Yeah,
right?
Yes, the only motherfucking person rapping that'll probably cite Hanson in the history of rap, probably. Yeah. But yeah, dude, you want to know why? It's because I saw these young ass kids that were like my age selling out arenas. Like, how you gonna not be inspired by that?
Exactly.
Like, what the hell? I was like, I gotta play drums. I gotta play drums. Yeah.
And now here you are at a point where you have what most people would consider fans, but I know you refer to them as your friends. Call it the friend base.
The friend base.
And you have kind of a history of being able to make friends growing up, right? Because didn't you kind of move around a bit?
Yes, moved around a lot. Probably like, you know what I'm saying? Probably like, I went to like 4 elementary schools growing up or something, 4 different ones. Like each grade moved. Like came in, made some friends, dipped out, made some friends, dipped out, made some friends, dipped out. You know what I'm saying? But then when I got into like junior high and shit, then I was like friends with everybody. Yeah. Because then they all come in the same spot. But yeah, man. I just made it a point that I'll never forget the moment I like became like not a quote unquote like pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was standing.
I
was in Virginia. I was on tour. It was my first tour ever, and I was with like these local kids, and like all these chicks were around, and this dude was like, "Yo, we're on this rope swinging off the top of this. It was connected to a train track, and it was hella high, but I was doing it anyway, swinging off this rope swing into the water. This like local dude who was like the badass was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go jump off the railroad tracks up there. Come with me." And like everyone was looking, so I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." And I walked up there, and I got out to the middle of the tracks, and a train started coming, and I like had to do it. And I sat there, and I was like, "I'll remember this, yeah."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hard to forget that.
Yeah. This is great. This is ill. This is the best fucking interview I've ever done. We're back in 3, 2.
And we're live.
Yeah, baby.
So when I think of fitting in, it reminds me of blending in.
Yeah.
That being said, do you still have pink camo as your iPhone background?
Yo, no, I don't. I gotta bring that back.
Really?
That shit was like that was like a stock like thing on the iPhone, and I just picked it, and everyone thought it was so wild. They're like, "What the hell? Why you got pink camo?"
Yeah.
Then I kept it forever. I'm gonna change it back. I have some other stock shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, it's good that you at least have a phone in case of emergency.
I do, man. Barely. It barely holds on, man. It barely holds on.
And in case of an emergency, especially because wasn't there a time in New Zealand when like the hotel you were staying at, the wall ripped in half from an earthquake?
Yeah, like the biggest earthquake in the last 15 years occurred the one day that I was in Christchurch, New Zealand. I was staying at a hostel, and I was with Scary Kids, Scaring Kids, and I was opening for them, playing drums for them out in New Zealand. And it was 4 a.m. It's a place called Christchurch. It's built off of it's a very religious town. Everyone in the city was asleep except us. We had just scoured the city to try to find a hose from someone's house that we could snip and make a bong out of. And we got back to the hotel, and right as we were about to smoke, shit just started getting weird, and I could tell it was weird right away. I stood up, and if these other dudes weren't there, I wouldn't probably know what to do, but they're like, get under the post, and then literally we had to run, and I saw the wall in front of me split in half. I could see outside. Man, it was chaos. Yeah, buildings fell.
Well, I'm glad you're okay and everything.
Yeah, we were right at the center of it. It was wild. It was wild.
Well, other than that, I'm sure you're pretty well off when it comes to foreign affairs, because didn't you actually, after growing out your dreads for 3 years, you cut the first one off and auctioned it for Japan?
Yeah, we raised money for Japan. I cut off one of my dreads, my first dread that I had for 4 years or something like that. Yeah,
you raised what was it, $400?
$500. Yeah. Shout out to Stickum. You know what I'm saying? It was when all the tsunami was happening, so it was for a very good cause. And I cut off my dread. You know what I'm saying? Someone bought that. Right. Someone bought that out in Norway or something.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. It's cool that you can do something like that in a time where so many people are strapped for cash.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, wasn't your first job being a caddy at a golf course?
Yeah, first job ever was caddy at a golf course.
What was that like?
Dude, amazing. Really? I'll probably caddy again someday later.
No kidding.
Or be just a great golfer or something. But I love golf course because it's its own world. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's once you get inside, you're playing on these holes, you get inside, and it's its own world inside there. I love that. I love living in my own world at all times.
Well, lastly, man, you've come a long way since then.
Yeah, I feel like it after listening to this interview. I'm like, wow, man.
Take you back a little bit.
Yeah.
You're at a point now where your music has been proven to save lives.
Yeah.
Do you in turn in any way consider music your life?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Plenty of things though. Art, in general, colors and shapes and just all that, man. There's so much that's helped me, you know what I'm saying, get here. And that's why it's so cool. That's why I wrote this book, is to show contrast. Yeah. Is to show the contrast between that I wasn't born in a constant state of positivity and always standing for being happy. It wasn't like that. I decided to do that. And I redesigned myself and rewired my thinking to always be happy. Okay, and it's very possible for everyone to do that, and I wanted them to do that. So that's what I'm trying to do, is empower other people. I'm good for the rest of my life. I'm good. My mind is so in an amazing place. I wake up every morning, I'm like, damn, another day,
Exactly.
For real. So I'm just trying to spread the message of that. And so each day that I get to add another person to who's listening is just that's the money. That's the money in the bank, is the people that are listening, and it turns into something that they live their life by. Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time, man.
Let's do it again, man.
Absolutely.
Shoot,
man.
I gotta accomplish a whole bunch more stuff now, real quick, so we can do another interview soon. Yo, best interview I've ever done. Seriously, This is the motherfucking man right here. You are supporting good people by watching this, and I'm gonna spread the hell out of this video.
That's
okay,
awesome.
This is the tell all. Label it that, the Mod Son tell all interview. I love it, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, you have a great
best
future,
wishes
man.
with
Great
everything
future.
coming your way.
I can't wait to watch some other interviews, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Man.
Great. Yo,
Forward to
Mod
reading
Son,
the book,
I
bro.
love you. We're out here in Michigan. We're gonna sell out this show tonight. Mod Son, moving on, drink, stand on. I love y'all. Yeah.